Hey guys, welcome, and I am glad to everybody that is tuning in right now. Tonight we are going to be talking to Flora Coates, who is from Lancaster, Texas. For some reason, being an Iowa guy, I keep wanting to say Missouri, but it's Lancaster, Texas. And so I am going to bring her on right now, and that way we can get to meet her and talk to her and kind of hear a little bit about her story and her need for a kidney donor, a living kidney donor. Like myself, I've had three kidney transplants, and now I'm doing my part and trying to pay it back to everyone else. So let me bring Flora on, and there she is. How you doing, Florida?
I'm fine. How are you doing, Shane?
I'm doing really good. I'm really glad that you're here, and I appreciate you taking time out of your night to come on and to be here. And I see Lavelle Fleming. Is that a family member?
Yes, that's my oldest son.
Oh, perfect. Well, good. Well, I'm glad that he's on here watching and checking things out. So that's always good to see family members on. So tonight, I want to really focus on you and hear what's going on in your life. I know that you're in need of a living kidney donor right now, and so um, I guess you're doing preemptive. Is that right?
Yes, I desire to get a preemptive kidney before I have to start on dialysis. And first of all, I just want to say thank you, all of you viewers, for listening to my story. I appreciate that. My name is Flora Coates, and I am married. I have five kids, um, eight grandchildren, and eight great grandchildren. Um, and I am a person who love to just pour love and everything that I have into my family and my friends and in my ministry. I help to take care of my husband who is disabled. Uh, over just a little history about me over the last 15 years, my kidney function has continued to decrease gradually. I am now classified as stage 4 chronic kidney disease, and my kidney function continued to fluctuate close to kidney failure with the GFR between 18 and 23, which puts me in a position to be limited to a center for dialysis, which would be 3 to 4 hours a day for no, it's 4 to 5 hours a day, 3 times a week. Um, I had wanted to do peritoneal dialysis, but that has been ruled out for me due to digestive issues. Um, I've been
So,
married. Oh, go
so
ahead. I'm
I wanted to back up because you were talking about a ministry, which really interests me. What type of ministry are you involved in? Or
I'm
what is it?
involved in care and comfort ministry at Oak Cliff Bible Fellowship Church, which is pastored by Dr. Tony Evans. And what I do, and my husband also assists me, is that we reach out and touch the lives of those that are bereaved or sick. We send out cards and write encouraging notes to the sick and bereaved. I think we send out about 50 cards and letters a month or more. And I also love to minister to people who are sick, um, take food, drinks, and just visit them. And I'm a gardener. I love to garden and I love to share my flowers and my harvest vegetables with others. I love to sew and I love to do alterations to make others look their absolute most fashionable.
Well, that's wonderful. I love that you're doing things and giving back. I mean, considering what you're going through right now, and here you are out being a blessing to other people. So, do you concentrate on any specific thing, or if someone's sick, then you're there for them, or is it through
Someone
the
there,
hospital ministry, or
well, they can be in my ministry, they can be a neighbor, they can be somebody I know, they can be a homeless person. Um, They can be an elderly person. It doesn't matter as long as they are human and they are a person because I love them. And that's how I express my love to God, by expressing it to people. And I enjoy that. And I
Good.
call it loving others in action.
That's awesome. Well, that's really cool that you do that for people. And now here you are, somebody that's in need of of what you need is a kidney. You know, you need someone to come forward and donate for you. And I think it's really cool. I see this a lot in the kidney community. People that are in need of a kidney, but yet a lot of them are doing things to give back and to bless other people. And I think it's really cool to see this from you and to hear that you're doing something like this. And now currently you're stage 4. So you're not where you need dialysis, but with a GFR of 13 to, or you said
Oh, if
18 to
my
23.
GFR is 18, and I understand that if my GFR falls to 14, and I become symptomatic, then
Uh-huh.
they would start dialysis. And I have already been mapped, and I know that they're going to have to do a graft in my right arm. Yeah,
Okay.
in my left arm. They have to do a graft in my left arm because my veins are too small. And besides, they're all burned up in my hand and arms. And I have a port in my chest just for blood draw and for
Uh-huh.
iron infusions. I'm also anemic because of my kidneys. My blood count is down to 9, and I get the hormones injections every month, and sometimes I get iron infusions.
Oh, I see. So with a port that they'll put in, they're not able to do like most people get a fistula.
I
Um,
won't be able to get one.
uh,
I was fortunate enough to have a daughter who is a dialysis nurse,
uh-huh.
and she encouraged me to make sure that I be proactive. So I have been to a doctor, and they mapped me and has determined that I must get a graft. So I know that I'm going to get a graft, and the doctor's ready when I get when my if my GFR falls to 14 and I become symptomatic. I'll call him and he'll put the graft in.
Yeah.
And
That's good you're getting a graft. I mean, I like the graft better than a fistula myself because as people out there that know that are in dialysis, and we have some of those folks watching, those fistulas can blow up and become bulbs, you know, almost like baseballs, because that's an artery that they're tapping into. And so I was lucky enough to get that graft, which is just a plastic tube, and it's a lot easier to stick, and it's not as I don't mean it negative, but I thought it was ugly with a fistula because I've had one. And
okay,
I had the fistula my first time when I was on dialysis, and during that second time I had the graft. So I
you've had
prefer it.
so much experience with it.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I'm 47 now, soon to be 48. I had my first kidney at 22, so I've had the experience with dialysis. I did see one person on here. I'll talk. Lisa was on here talking about that her boyfriend's been waiting on a kidney for years. He's an end-stage renal failure. Lisa, I just want to let you know that I myself was in end stage renal failure for a little over 4 years before I got my transplant. And I do see some people, Lisa, that have been on dialysis for 5, 6, and 7 years, but just have faith in God and know that His time will come when that kidney will be available. So, stay true to the Lord and keep in prayer, and it's going to happen. And get your prayer warriors around you. It'll happen. And so, Flora, one other thing is with Texas, you are listed at what hospital?
I am listed with UT Southwestern Medical Center in Dallas, Texas,
Okay.
and
And
I
just
have
so, oh, go ahead.
I'm approved and registered and just waiting for a donor at this point.
Cool. Great. And just so people do know, I've got that scrolling on the bottom of the screen that if you want to be a donor for Florida, or at least see if you can qualify to be Flora's donor, you can call that 830 number on there, or you can go to kidneysolutions.org. and you'll see where she's listed on there as well. And that's a group of folks. Kidney Solutions is a nonprofit, just like Midwest Kidney Warriors, where I help to advocate to find living donors. They help not only with the person before transplant, they're really about getting people donated before they have to start dialysis. But then Kidney Solutions also takes care of people even after they get a transplant, because life isn't everything's not all great after you get a kidney. There's still things that have to be done in order to keep it. And that's what Kidney Solutions does. So you can call them directly and they can help you through the process of being a donor for Flora. And so definitely give that number a call and reach out to them as well. But it's good that you're doing this. Most people don't get that opportunity to get even listed for transplant. Most nephrologists are getting people on dialysis first. So how long have you known you were in kidney failure, and how long have you been searching?
Well, over the last 15 years, my kidney function has decreased from 40% to the present 18% GFR. I wish with all my heart I had known the information that I know now, because I could have preserved a lot more of that function. But doctors just do not tell you a lot of the information. Some of them do not tell you a lot of the information that can help you. And that's gives me another thing that I want to do. I want to be a kidney advocate, to help people, so that they will be in better shape than I am in right now. I have learned so much, and knowledge is power. My first doctor didn't want me to go to the kidney classes or anything. She said, "You're not there yet." But the second physician has been, oh, just wonderful. I took all the classes for the kidney disease, and I have been learning some from my daughter and some on my own, some from my doctor. But I have already shared quite a bit of the information that I have with other kidney patients. But I would love to be in a position to do what you are doing, Shane. You and you and Steve are doing a wonderful job. And also, of course, I cannot forget Kidney Solutions. Can't. You're just reaching out and touching people's lives and answering questions. There is so much that I have inquiries about, and you guys have been wonderfully helping me with everything. You make posters for me, and you're putting information on the website so people can share, and just giving me an opportunity for other people to see my need. And who knows, one of those shares, one of those posters may reach my hero, my donor. I
Yeah.
know my donor is out there somewhere.
Yeah, and it'll happen, and that's where doing this is just one of the tools that I have that I use to try to share the story of people, because someone shares this video and someone gets to know you on a personal level and might be led to help you and see if they can donate a kidney. And a lot of times, a lot of family members want to donate, but they might not be able to. But they share something like this on Facebook or Instagram or any of those social media platforms, and sometimes you'll get friends of family members, friends of friends that'll come forward. I've seen them come from every different direction. I know when I was looking for a kidney donor myself, I had a cousin, I had a youth pastor, I had a lot of different people, and and I had people that saw things that my cousins and aunts and uncles, things that people shared, and so those people came forward on behalf to try to donate. So that's why we do these things and do the posters and the Facebook pages and all this to get the story out about you, because it's important to get you a kidney, especially before you start dialysis.
Oh, I would
Uh,
love that.
yeah, Lisa hit on this. I believe it was Lisa was talking about, that her husband does dialysis. Here it is. Yeah, it's 3 times a week he's doing dialysis, and he's been in the hospital way too many times. And she hit on the other part about the effects of renal failure. I always say that it's almost like a stroke because it can be a silent killer. A lot of people don't realize they have kidney failure until they're way down and it's too late. Just like yourself, at least you found out earlier. But the unfortunate thing is some nephrologists have you go on with normal life until you get to the point where you need dialysis, which is
Yeah.
unfortunate because, as you know, you can do things with diet and exercise and eating habits, things like that, that you can do to at least prolong the life of your kidneys. Uh, there's a gentleman that's on YouTube on here. He's called Dadvice TV. He's been in stage 3 renal failure for many, many years, and he's kept himself from having to do dialysis just by eating right, dieting right, eating a kidney healthy type of diet. And that's what's really important. But unfortunately, most people don't get that opportunity. Um, so the other thing I was going to talk to you about with, do you have a good, decent relationship at your transplant clinic?
Yes, I do. I
So
do.
do you have a coordinator there as well, a pre-transplant coordinator? Do you get to know her pretty good?
I didn't get to know her very well. The first one that they had was very, very helpful. They have a second one who's there now, and I think she's probably still in the learning process, but she's helped me with the questions that I was asked her. So,
That's
but I
good. You
can
know,
tell not quite as knowledgeable as the first one.
right. Well, they'll get there as
Yeah.
they keep doing this. They'll get there. But one thing that's always good with these transplant coordinators is, I made sure to call mine on a weekly basis. Even if I had nothing to talk about, I would think of something to talk about.
Yeah,
You
that's a
know,
good
but
thing.
but the one question I always was asking is, where am I at on the list? They can't tell us where we're at on the list, but they can hint. We're at the bottom, we're at the middle, we're top middle, we're right at the top. They can't tell us exactly where we're at. But those coordinators out there, getting a good relationship with them is very, very important. So I would recommend doing that as much as possible.
Well, I certainly called her when I found out that my donor had been turned down, and she was hesitant to talk to me about it. But I told her, I said, I know who it is. It's my great niece, and I want to know why. And she was helpful in explaining to me the criteria for the BMI,
Hmm.
which is why she was turned down.
Sure.
Uh, she could still apply at some other time um, if she could meet the criteria.
Sure. And one thing, so people know that if there's someone out there that's thinking about being a donor for Flora, is the doctors and the hospitals are very, very picky about who can donate. The one thing they don't want is somebody to get off the table worse than they got on the table. And I got that from my own surgeon, Dr. Axelrod. He said he will not put anybody on that table if there's any chance they could get off of it any worse. In fact,
Mhm.
when my cousin was going to donate on my behalf, he couldn't donate directly to me. So we did a voucher program, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But he donated so I could get a voucher, which puts me to the top of the list. Before they did his surgery, he went in and had a high blood pressure, which he thought was due to stress. Well, they were going to not do the surgery. They weren't going to let him donate the kidney. So instead, what they did is they put on a cuff on him that he had to wear for 24 hours to track his kidney or to track his blood pressure to make sure he didn't have any type of hypertension. And luckily, his kidney function was okay, so he was able to donate. But if there's somebody out there that's wanting to donate and you think, well, you know what, I smoke tobacco, I can't. I smoke marijuana, I can't. If you think, that, I might be a little bit overweight, I can't. Don't answer your own questions. Have the doctor answer those questions for you because I've seen people that smoke cigarettes donate. I've seen people that smoke marijuana donate. I've seen people that were a little bit overweight donate. I've seen people that's had knee surgeries donate, and they've even let people that have had some type of cancer donate as long as they were over 10 years with cancer. So don't make that decision on your own thinking I can't do it. Let a doctor tell you that you can't do it. So don't make that decision on your own. And so if you're calling Kidney Solutions at that 800 number we have listed for Flora, give them a call and talk to them. and let them get your information and send it on, and let that doctor make the decision for you. Don't make it on your own. You know what I mean by that, right, Flora? Because
Yes.
we don't want kidneys from somebody that's going to risk their health.
Oh no, we want to make sure they're going to be well, and we don't want them to end up where we are. That's
Exactly. Yeah.
not our desire. We want to live, but we want them to live as well.
Yep. And that was most important. In fact, even when my cousin donated, his son has a certain disease, and I asked my cousin, please take your son to his doctor and make sure he's not in any kind of risk whatsoever in the future to have any kind of kidney problems, because I would hate for you to give me a kidney and then 10 years from now he needs one because of this condition he has. And
Mhm.
luckily we were in the clear on that, so he was able to donate. But as kidney recipients, we don't want people to give us a kidney and literally be in a situation where they die, because the guilt I would carry with that, oh my gosh, I don't even want to think about it.
Yeah.
So,
The other thing about me, I have a rare blood type. My blood type is B positive. So it's going to be a little longer probably for me than the 5 years unless I can get a living kidney. About 8% of the population have B positive blood. Um, and unfortunately, my transplant center is not a member of the the Kidney Register,
yeah, National Kidney Registry.
National Kidney Register. So I can't have the situation that you had with your last kidney, which was wonderful. Your brother donated a kidney for you, and then
Um,
someone else donated one to
yeah,
you because y'all weren't matches, right?
yeah, my situation ended up differently. Is my cousin donated to somebody through the National Kidney Registry, which took
Hmm.
me to the top of the list on the deceased donor list, as
Uh-huh.
well as the National Kidney Registry. So if somebody matched up with me on the National Kidney Registry or to the deceased donor list, I would get priority for those. I ended up not getting through a living donor. I ended up getting through a deceased donor 7 days after my cousin donated, and there was no way I was going to say no, because you can never guarantee when the next kidney is going to be available. And
Hmm.
the other thing that Flora talked about is she could be on dialysis maybe 5 years or longer because of her blood type. You're never guaranteed how long you're even going to last on dialysis, first and foremost, because dialysis just tears your skin up. You have all kinds of skin issues because of potassium, and I'm not going to get into all of it, but you can have skin issues. You can have heart failure. You can get congestive heart failure because this dialysis machine is only doing 15% of what your kidneys would normally do. And you've got to do the rest by diet and by drinking right. So, what you have to do as a kidney patient is try to make up that other 85% of what dialysis is doing by making sure you're not drinking a lot of fluid and that you're eating the right things because your body's not filtering correctly. And so that's why it's important to find a donor for somebody as soon as possible and not hold out and say, well, hopefully I'll get one in 3 years or 5 years. No, we need a kidney donor now, because I've tanked out a couple times. I'm 47 years old. I'm in pretty decent shape now, but I tanked out a couple times on dialysis because of blood pressure drops, and they had to revive me, bring me back. So you don't ever want to take a chance on hoping that something comes in 3 years, 5 years, 6 years. My attitude was I need to find somebody now, because on dialysis, we're never guaranteed tomorrow. And especially someone that might be over 60 years of age. I'm not sure, Flora, where you fall in that, but for me,
Well,
creeping up on 50, I was scared.
I'm 71.
Well, you look
And
great.
thank you.
You don't look like it.
Thank you. I'm 71 and I got a lot more living to do and I want to live and I got so much more to give. Um, and I want a living kidney, but I will not exclude a deceased kidney. So what I would like to say, if anyone is out there that have a family member that dies in an accident or have from a bleed, I want you to remember me if that person has expressed a desire to donate their organs, or if you decide for a family member to donate their organs so someone else can live. I'm asking you to please think about me, especially if they have B positive blood. Or so um,
No, it's well
I
said
just
what
want
you're
that
saying.
chance. I want that chance to continue my quality life and be able to assist my husband who's disabled and to just keep on giving back. There's so much I want to give.
Well, not to mention, you said what, eight grandchildren, eight great grandchildren, or
Eight eight grandchildren, eight great grandchildren, and five kids. Three of which I had, and three God blessed me with as bonus daughters.
so that's 21 total
Yes,
that,
yes,
that
yes,
you want to be here for and need you, even more
yes.
importantly, that need you. So if that doesn't say anything, I don't know what does, but that's a big family. So you've been blessed.
It's a big family. And Shane, when my kidney function was 40, I had a different doctor. I asked her, "What can I do?" and about the classes and all of that. And I didn't get the help that I needed at the time.
Hmm.
But that's why if somebody else is in that position, I want to be able to help them. There is a lady that has kidney function of 35, and I've been able to help her through a friend by passing on the information that I have learned. One thing I would like to say is you have to be your own advocate. And if your kidney function falls under 20, a lot of doctors will not tell you about a kidney transplant. You're going to have to push for it. And if you go to a transplant center and your GFR is under 20, you're going to be accepted um, as a kidney. If within reason, I can't say everybody will be accepted because some people have conditions and other reasons why they won't be accepted. But if you're healthy enough, they will accept you. But a lot of patients are not told about a kidney transplant. They are just sent from the doctor's office to dialysis.
Yeah, and a lot of patients, like you're saying, and I run into this because I do patient education at a couple dialysis centers here in Iowa that I go to on a monthly basis. Now, luckily, where I go to, those patients are pretty well educated, not only on their treatment options of either doing in-center hemo, or home peritoneal. There's, a few, I won't get into them here, but there's a few different treatments. A lot of them don't get those options out that I hear out there in the country, but at least where I'm at, they do. But what's the unfortunate thing, and this is something Kidney Solutions really pushes really hard, is preemptive transplant. When you hit stage 3 kidney failure, and let me say this for the people that are watching that might not be familiar, there's 5 stages of kidney failure, and stage 5 is where you do need a kidney transplant. Stage 4 is where you're about close to where you need to start dialysis, which is what Flora is right now. But the GFR is what measures that. And I can't tell you the amount of people that probably have kidney failure right now and don't even know it. I had kidney failure when I was 18 years old, they said, and didn't even know it because I was 21 when I was diagnosed. And you just don't ever think about getting checked. And that's one thing the National Kidney Foundation used to push back in the day was, people getting checked to make sure they're in kidney failure. Now the organization, National Kidney Foundation, just does a whole heck of a lot more. They do patient education and advocacy, and they do a lot of things for people now. But it's different. But in any case, what Flora was talking about when she was saying her GFR, that's your flow rate through your kidney that the blood goes through to make sure that it's getting properly cleaned for your system. And so when it starts to break down, it's not doing its job getting rid of the fluid, it's not taking care of your blood pressure, and it's not getting those toxins out of your body that it needs to as well. But Flora, I guess one other question is if someone came forward for you, a kidney donor, and I'm going to give you the screen again on this question, but what would that mean for somebody to be a kidney donor and come forward for you? What would that mean?
Oh, Shane, it would mean the world to me. It would give me a chance to live longer, healthier, normal life, to continue allowing me to serve God by serving people. And it would give me a chance to be here for my husband, my children, my grandchildren, my great grandchildren, my ministry. I'm a very busy person. When I get up in the morning and I don't sit down or rest, I usually keep going. I'm busy or I'm working in my garden. I want my life to be active. I want it to be normal. I want it to be a life of giving, of expressing love in action. And I can't do that sitting in a dialysis chair 15 hours a week. I just can't envision me being in dialysis. So I know that God is able, and I am praying that He heals me miraculously because I know He can, or heal me through a kidney. And when I say kidney, I'm hoping that I get a preemptive kidney, that I never have to go on dialysis. That's not me. And if I have to go on dialysis to live, then so be it. I'll do it gladly. But if there is a kidney out there for me, I want it.
Well, Flora, I just tell you, I I don't think there's anyone more deserving than you. You're a great person. I know we've been talking. I don't know, maybe a month now that I've been working with you, and we've been talking, and you've been great coming on our support groups and being a part of the community, and you're the type that will definitely pay it forward, not only by blessing other people in your community, but blessing people within this kidney community throughout the country that we all get to talk to. And so I just want to ask anyone that's out there watching right now that if you would consider doing anything uh, like this to donate a kidney, please do that for Flora. She is one of a kind. She's a great person. She's a huge blessing, and she can do a lot of great things in this world. But she just needs someone to step forward and do this for her. So, like I said, we do have the phone number down below for Kidney Solutions. You can contact them there at that phone number, or you can go online as well and get a hold of them that way too. And so, before I close, I did want to answer a question that we got from Deborah, where she just asked if kidney problems can be reversed through a diet and exercise. The answer, unfortunately, is no. Once an organ goes bad, that organ has gone bad. The only thing you can do is sustain it at that point and hope that it does not get any worse. So that's what we were talking about. If you're in a stage 3 or stage 4 kidney, you can diet and exercise to slow the effects of the kidney damage. But unfortunately, just like a liver will regrow itself, but it will not heal itself. So that's why they typically cut part of the liver out of a human that's damaged, because it cannot uh, fix itself. In fact, it will spread and worsen the rest of the kidney. That's why they cut it out, or worsen the rest of the liver. That's why they cut it out, and then part of that liver grows back. Unfortunately, kidneys don't grow back when you cut on them. They just go dead. And so the answer to that question is unfortunately they can't be reversed, but you can prolong the effects of that. So I wanted to get that question answered, and it was a good one. So I appreciate that. And, here's Richard on here saying, such an angel. I couldn't agree with him more about that, Flora. Who's this now?
That's my youngest son.
Okay, great. Well, good. Glad to see him on and watching. So, but we're going to go ahead and close out. And I do want to thank everyone that tuned in tonight and watched. I want to encourage everyone on there to please share this on Facebook and make sure that we get this spread out there so other people see this story and learn about Flora and her need to get a living kidney donor. It's very, very important because we want people like her in this world, definitely. So, Flora, thank you so much again for coming on. I greatly, oh yeah, there he is. He says he's the best child.
They're all my best children.
Yeah, that's what my mom would say. They're all my favorite. But
I'll tell you, they're all wonderful blessings from God. I
well,
love them
good.
all.
Good. That's great. So, listen, I want to thank you for coming on the show. I greatly appreciate it. And we will talk again here in a minute. once we're backstage, we'll talk here again. But thanks again for coming on the show. And I pray to God that somebody comes forward and sees this and donates to you.
Well, thank you for having me, and thank you very much for focusing on me this week and for all the help that you and Kidney Solutions have given me. Totally free.
Yep.
Love
Always
you all
free.
for giving and loving in action.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I'll put you backstage real quick. I'm going to talk to the folks, and then we'll be out of here. So hang on a second. Well, guys, I thank everybody again for tuning in tonight, and all the family members of Flora for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. As I've said over, I don't know how many times, if there's somebody out there to donate, please come forward and get a hold of Kidney Solutions and call the 800 number that you've seen on the screen here. But until then, guys, take care. God bless you all. And don't forget that if you can't donate while you're living, you always can in the event of your untimely death. So make sure that you are an organ donor on your driver's license, because one thing I always like to say is in death, you can always give life. So thank you, everyone, and God bless.